Welcome everyone, I'm Niall with Listen Up, here still with Tony Stott.
Hi.
Head of brand, Cambridge Audio.
Indeed.
We've moved on from integrateds and streamers, DACs. Now let's talk about lifestyle, which I think encompasses the part-time listener, the full-time listener, people with families, jobs, whatever that is. Music is part of your life. You've made a lifestyle solution. Tell us about EVO.
So, number one, by all means call it lifestyle, but this is actually...
Well, yeah, you tell, yeah, what do you want to call it?
I kind of refer to it as lifestyle myself, but it's serious hi-fi.
Yeah.
We kind of refer to EVO as being the evolution of hi-fi.
Okay.
And I think that's absolutely right. EVO is, kind of, you know that old music centre?
Okay.
You know the old music centre that was kind of every element of a hi-fi?
Like the stacks.
Yeah, but in a wooden cabinet
Or,
on wheels,
yeah.
that's kind of...
CD shelf in there, and yeah.
Got all the stuff. This is that, but for the modern age.
In a foot by foot square kind of deal.
Well, actually, the top imprint of this, if you were to lay an album cover down on it, it's the exact same size.
Really?
Yes. That's a cool bit of information, though.
I didn't know that. I should have known that. That's a helpful thing to know.
You've obviously never tried.
I've never tried, but that I trust you. That seems about right there.
No, it's an album cover. But this is really, we call this an all-in-one player. It's not an all-in-one system. An all-in-one system should probably have speakers. It should probably be able to make a noise. This is just add speakers.
Okay.
But it's an integrated amplifier. It's a phono stage. It's a DAC. It's a network player, and it's all in one really nicely designed package.
Beautifully designed package. And side note, I brought this in here. Maybe doesn't show excellently at this distance, but an area where Cambridge deserves some further praise, specifically in EVO and Edge, is your remote design. Great feel in the hand, all the buttons you need. Maybe not important to everyone, but I thank you for designing two awesome remotes to match these pieces.
I'll pass your thanks on.
Please do. Yeah.
So the sort of thing about the lifestyle element of this is, I guess, is how easily something like this is going to fit into your home.
Right.
This is not necessarily designed to go on a hi-fi rack. It's designed to go on a mid-century sideboard.
Are you familiar with Darko Audio?
I am incredibly familiar with John.
Yeah, it's Calyx-Fi, is that correct?
That's what he calls it.
Or this is Calyx certified. Thank you, John, for letting us borrow that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he talks about this fitting into a piece of IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
But this should be accessible. This means that the great sound, great functionality, and great looks are within touching distance of anybody who wants to.
Completely achievable.
Yeah, completely achievable, and even to the point.
We can turn this a little bit too.
Can we turn it a little bit?
Is that all right?
Even to the point where these side panels are removable, and we can replace these with another side panel that's made of a sustainable substance called Richlite.
Okay.
It's kind of made from recycled paper, but it's used as a replacement for things like rosewood in guitar fretboards and things like that. So incredibly tough wearing.
Like a paper composite kind of material.
Yeah, but a little bit tougher.
Cut down, milled down. And
but those were held in place with magnets, and away you go.
It's fantastic.
I'll tell you what, I've not done it properly.
Well,
There we go. So I also want to draw your attention around the front. So we've got this big screen here. At the moment we're playing Paradise Radio, so that's one of the internet stations that we can get through the StreamMagic application. But you've also got this control wheel here. So two-stage control wheel. On the outside, this controls the volume, the inputs, and on the inside, this controls the volume.
Yeah.
So we can turn that up, and you can see that the volume moves on the screen, and then this one controls the inputs that you do there.
And you can't feel through camera, but what I will tell you, as someone who's familiar with the masterpiece that is the Edge A and NQ's control knob, that for not even being, mechanically related, you've done an excellent job with the fit and finish here. Not that $3,000 isn't a lot of money, but when you look at the realm of hi-fi and when you look at what EVO offers, EVO 150 at that price point, you get the sound quality, you get the functions you want. And if you are motivated by aesthetic or fit and finish, this might be one of the most exciting products you offer. I think Edge is up there in terms of fit, finish, and aesthetic, but the packaging here, there are a variety of textures and tones. It's a beautiful piece with beautiful sound.
And it's really happy serving as a central hub around other hi-fi equipment as well. So there are two flavors of this. You've got the 75 and you've got the 150. The 75 is 75 watts of power. Guess how much power is in the 150? That's right.
I was going to stab at it. 150, yeah.
150 watts per channel. Then on the 75, you've got, actually it's better to talk about what the 150 adds extra on top of that. So there's a phono stage on there.
Okay.
There's pre-outputs. That's on both. There's extra optical in.
Correct.
XLR in.
Yeah.
USB B.
And
Type B.
The HDMI is on the 75 as well, right?
HDMI is on the 75 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So connect this to your television.
Home theater bypass.
Also featuring home theater bypass.
150 only or 75 as well?
Both.
Oh, cool.
Both. So activate that in the StreamMagic app. Okay. It wasn't there when we initially launched the product, but our listeners made quite a lot of noise. And our engineers went scurrying back to the workshop and engineered a software fix that enabled us to put home theater bypass in there. So really nice touch. The other thing the 150's got is extra speaker zones. So it's got an
A, B, B output, yeah.
So you can run two pairs of speakers off this, maybe do one set in one room, one set in another room.
That's incredible.
Run them both at the same time or switch between. Entirely down to you.
There was something else that's available now that wasn't available when EVO as a whole came out. That
exactly.
I think you'd be excited to talk about. We don't have it here, but
yeah. So EVO CD.
Yes.
So we can call this an all-in-one system, but it's missing that one thing. So you've got a phono stage, plug a turntable into it, but it's missing that the little shiny silver disc.
Yeah.
So EVO CD was launched earlier this year. It's a companion piece. It's the same size as EVO 150 and EVO 75. We've got a front-loading drawer.
Awesome.
But the clever thing about EVO CD is that it's transport and it only works with EVO.
And it's real time, right?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So it works with EVO, but what it does, it uses the brain that's inside EVO, or a portion of the brain that's inside EVO, to not only do the digital to analog conversion, but also to read album art in real time.
Really? Get some metadata from it?
Well, no, it doesn't get metadata. It goes onto the internet. It finds out what
CD you're
listening to, and then displays the album artwork.
That's very cool. Another thing I did not know until right now.
Yeah. So we use a music database. There are some titles that are not in it.
Okay.
But we encourage you to get in touch with us through the StreamMagic app and tell us what those titles are,
and
we can get them uploaded to the database. So you're not only helping yourself, you're helping other like-minded music fans all around the world to enjoy album art.
Stay connected.
Stay connected. Actually, connecting people to the power of music. That's kind of what we do.
An excellent one too.
So EVO CD is available now, and we're really pleased with it. In fact, this is the combination that I have in my own personal living room at home.
What speakers?
I've got some old Cambridge Audio Aeromax 2s, which are no longer available, but they're fine for my purposes. My room is not. I live in one of these sort of small British terraced houses, so my room is not an ideal listening cave. If I want to do that, I go to the office.
Not quite.
Not quite up to this standard.
Fair.
No, but sometimes it's good to have to work for a better sound.
Agree.
But yeah, it's absolutely perfect for my personal listening environment, and certainly turns heads whenever anybody comes around.
Did you want to dive into EVO CD without it being here, or do you want to just? We mentioned it. I did a little training on EVO CD. It's going to be a phenomenal transport. I would imagine it follows in the footsteps of CXC in terms of some of the praise it's going to award.
It's not as versatile.
Not as universal, right?
So the CXC is universal. If you've got a DAC, plug the CXC into it.
Excellent.
And some people sort of might say, well, why have you done that? And the whole purpose is EVO's got this brilliant brain.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you take advantage of it?
And brilliant packaging.
And brilliant packaging, and it looks unique.
Yep.
And so if you want a CD transport that might cost you a little less money, CXC is there. Yeah. You want a Cambridge CD transport, the CXC is there. It's available. It's not going away. But if you want something that partners with EVO, that makes the use of the brilliant processing power that you've got inside EVO, then EVO CD is the ideal solution.
And I think it's fair to say that even though this is an all-in-one, which as a category is maybe more susceptible to the marches of time, the more you box into one unit, the more the world can move around you. I think it's still fair to say that Cambridge has brought that timeless philosophy to EVO, so that even though we have built-in DAC streaming, we've got built-in phono stage, we've got home theater bypass, ARC, you still try to create a piece of gear and a line of products that 5-10 years from now will feel timeless and useful. And I would hope that's true in EVO and of EVO CD.
It's certainly never going to sound any worse.
Okay.
You know, you can't take that away. We work really, really hard as a group to make sure that we always apply firmware upgrades in reverse.
Yeah.
So that products that are slightly older
still
feel fresh and still get new upgrades. We've got products that have been off sale for 6 years or more. And the last major sort of upgrade we did to that firmware was adding Tidal Connect.
Yeah.
Those products got that as well. That's really, really important to us. It's also really important from a sustainability angle. We don't want you throwing these things into landfill.
Yeah, it's not
we
responsible.
don't want them to be We don't want them to be useless.
And that, I think, yes, that's responsible for the environment, but I also think that's
it's a duty of care to your customer.
That's exactly right. It's more pride in what you're building, and I don't want you to buy something from me that's going to be useless or thrown away.
No,
what's the point of me making this if you're going to throw it away?
Absolutely not.
So,
absolutely not.
Can I ask you a critical question about EVO?
Of course.
Just it's maybe a left field kind of question. Cambridge specializes in making incredible amplifiers. We spent the morning talking about push-pull and why we like push-pull and the advantages there. Can you talk a little bit about why we find a Class D module, or a pair of them, in EVO 150? For me, short answer is packaging, but why did that work for Cambridge, and why is that?
Because it became good enough. I think there was a time, and people have a misconception with Class D. They think the D stands for digital.
Nope.
It doesn't. It's analog amplification, but it's done in a slightly different way. That means that you're using almost all of the power that you put in is what you get out. It's incredibly
very
efficient.
Right.
It doesn't get too hot. And with a small package like this, that's a really, really important consideration. We wanted to make this as user-friendly as possible. We wanted someone to be able to bring this home and say, look what I've got, and everybody to love it.
Happy,
And Class D, one of our engineering team came into the office convinced that he could make Class D sound like Cambridge. And I think he's done it.
Oh, it's excellent. It's really incredible. And for those of you very techie nerds out there, you might know that the Class D module in here, you could find in other products, right?
Yeah, it's a HiFi Encore.
I have not heard that module sound quite as natural as it does in the EVO 150, which is cool. It's proof that it's not the technology, it's the implementation, it's the tuning, it's the listening. So
and with all Cambridge products, as we've talked about before, it's about listening to it first and then measuring it later. These measure great, but we've listened to them, we've used our ears. We're all absolute music fanatics at Cambridge Audio. Melomaniacs, and this this product is no exception to that way of delivering that Cambridge sound.
It's awesome. Love it. I'm happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Thank you all so much. Like a Broken Record, definitely available at listenup.com. If you needed a place to start in the hi-fi world, I think this is maybe the safest option, as nice as the CXA is. Spend the extra change, get yourself the all-in-one, and then come see us for Edge. Yeah?
100%.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.